Alright guys, welcome to the first ever late night episode of Auto Alchemy. This is another part of my objective personality experiment series, so I'm going to be attempting to type pretty briefly, honestly, Anna Kendrick, who is a triple threat, quadruple threat, quintuple threat. I don't know, she's kind of a juggernaut. She sings, she dances, she acts, she tweets like a cockatiel, and still has time to author, a full, hilarious autobiographical book. So let's get started. As I mentioned in my Hassan Minaj retrospective, I'm trying to do things a little bit differently this time around, so I devoured a ton of interview footage. I spent a lot of time thinking about her life trajectory. I read some of her notable quotables. That's my terminology, which I stole from a friend, so technically it's my terminology now. I read an essay from her book, and then I even started this whole typing, winnowing process over a few times because I was second-guessing myself, and I'm still second-guessing myself, but at a certain point, you just have to take that shot in the dark. It was really hard for me to get a feel for who Anna Kendrick is. It's almost like there's an armor of humor surrounding her at all times, and the core of Anna Kendrick is just out of sight at all times. Like I said, I'm going to be really quick about this one because it's late at night and I kind of hurt my throat singing along to some hardcore music. Did you know that Anna Kendrick has been in showbiz since she was a kid? I mean, she almost got a Tony.
Do you guys know that Anna Kendrick is a Tony Award nominee?
Rosie, that's literally what I just said. So I'm going to say that Anna is gather over organize. She's constantly moving from project to project, and in fact, because these are creative projects, I'm going to say that she is an any user. But again, that's an educated guess based on all of this footage that I'm watching. So, if you are typing from home, please try to find evidence to the contrary. Please fight those intuitive hunches that you have, or you'll end up wrong like I am doubtlessly going to be. Okay. But I want to say that our top function is any because I've seen a lot of evidence for demon introverted sensing, and I'm going to read a couple of quotes to you to kind of prove that. So, she has once said, "I love rules and I love following them, unless that rule is stupid." She also said, "I thrive in structure. I drown in chaos." So to me, this sounds like somebody who has finally come to terms with the necessity of organizing the sensory aspects of her life, but you can tell that there's still a little bit of resistance. There's still a little bit of sort of a begrudging acceptance that comes along with that. So beyond that, I also saw a lot of play energy. Her banter is rapid fire and constant, and honestly praiseworthy. Like, I wish that I could be as quick in the moment as she is. It's phenomenal. And she's, again, always involved in these high energy creative projects, so that's what makes me think that she's leading with two extroverted functions smushed together, and that's what's giving her this play energy. So assuming that she is any, then the question becomes, is she NEFE or NETE? Meaning, is she an ENTP with an NF kind of flavor, or is she an ENFP with that NT flavor? And that's actually one reason that I think that I might be on the right track, is that I get both vibes from her. Like, she's occupying some weird duality. Sometimes I'll look at her and listen to the way that she's speaking, and she sounds like Ben, what's his name? Ben from Parks and Rec. I can't think of his last name. and other times she's saying these really lofty, empowering things, and yeah, it's weird. She's occupying this purgatory. Okay, so in order to resolve the question of what her second savior is, I thought that it might be easier to go looking for her demons, right? So in this case, I was looking for whether she has demon TI or demon FI. And this video sort of helped me lock on to one of those options. So I will play that now. No, I won't, because I don't have it up.
Do you have any free time to meet with friends?
That is a problem. I don't have, like, I barely have friends, because all my friends are the ones, you know, who are okay with the fact that sometimes you don't see your friends.
So our beloved Anna Kendrick, who is adored by pretty much everyone and their mother, doesn't really have friends. I mean, she has people in her life who are present if she needs a friendly face, but she doesn't have, you know, regular friends cycling through, and it seems like maybe she's making these friendships on set, and they're all very sort of pragmatic, and they're built around that working relationship, and then that's it. That's a pretty lofty assumption, so I completely take that back. But maybe it's true. Yeah, so it feels like she's neglecting her FI values. That's what I'm seeing here anyway. Like, she is putting her emotional core aside, and only recently has she learned how to take ownership of her quirks, which you can see in all of her tweeting, which is just a hotbed of quirky quotes about, you know, things that she likes, things that she dislikes, but they're all kind of tongue-in-cheek, and you can tell that this is part of that inner sandwiched TF dichotomy. Like, it's not her primary conflict. It's not the ultimate thing that you know, brings her trouble. And on the topic of maybe having a demon FI, I also read an essay where she's kind of talking about a previous relationship of hers and how she was dissolving herself into the relationship for the sake of receiving this guy's validation, even though he was giving her nothing to work with. She was really putting herself through the ringer, and, you know, in a way that is fairly disrespectful, I think, of herself, if that makes sense. So that's just what I see. There is also a moment from this one interview when she was 17 years old. So I'll play that real quick.
I consider myself to be a triple threat, and triple threat means
And so what I detected in that video, there's this moment when she kind of like rolls her eyes, and I feel like that's a little bit of the demon sensing coming through, or sorry, the demon feeling coming through. She's talking about being a triple threat, and that's a very sort of like tribal evaluation framework that she's working in, and you can tell there's a little part of her that is like, oh, but I just want to express myself, and I just want to be me. But that part is the demon part, and that's not really where she thrives. And I also think that, well, I think that she has masculine feeling, which would mean that she has feminine thinking. Man, my brain is not working right now. But feminine thinking, so that would explain the fluidity of how she's interacting with the tribe, and her willingness, I suppose, to go along with what everyone's saying, and not what everyone's saying, but it would account for like her playful fluidity. That's all I'm going to say about that. And yeah, so beyond that, that's really mostly all that I can muster. I'm just trying to get out a video at this point so that I'll have something before Dave and Shan put up their video. I'm seeing a lot of play. I'm seeing a lot of blasting of information and almost no sleep, so that would make consume her third animal. And then I think that her sensory function is probably masculine. I don't really say that with any good grounding, to be honest. I'm just running on a hunch right now, but it's something to do with, I think, her aptitude for singing and dancing and doing all of this like dramatic, hard movement that involves, you know, really being present, even if she's got, you know, demon sensing. So with Anna Kendrick, that leaves us with male, female, play, blast, consume, sleep, NETE. Now, I think she could also be NEFE, or even a really bizarre ESTJ with TE, any, but that's sort of the rank of my different guesses. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't poke too much fun at me when I inevitably get this wrong. I'll see you next time. Thanks.